Hey, sitting up on top of the play tower, the Bruce Goff Price play tower. As you can see, the city of Bartlesville behind me. It's a just absolute gorgeous view. Get chills just thinking about it. It's a lot of fun up here.
Hey, this is Scott.
And this is Jay.
And this is Scott and Jay show, and it's a rainy day here again in Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
We haven't had any rain for 5 years, I think. It seems like it. And now it's every day we have 20
All
inches
day.
of rain.
Yeah. Cloudy and everything's
beautiful.
wet and
Oh, man.
soggy and
Mosquitoes like
damp.
that big.
Yeah,
it's great.
feels like Seattle.
Yeah, as we drink coffee because, you know, they drink coffee.
So we're here at Jude's Java and
Oh,
Health and Java House.
we just need the
I just
sign.
need a little sign right here.
Right here,
Right, yeah.
And actually, put a link right here to Jude's Java.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it right there. I'll put that in right there.
So Jude's Health
and Java House. And so it's.
Oh wait, here you go.
Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, there you go, right there.
I'm just gonna do this the whole time.
Do I have it on mine? No.
Yeah.
So you know what? Oh yeah, there it is.
So we've got these coffee cups like this.
So I should just look at this and say Jude's Health and Java. Life is too short for bad coffee. Is that so? Anyway, this would be a good
Is that
time.
velvet?
No, that's blue velvet. So anyway, so I got my new iPhone.
Man, that's
6.
pretty.
Ooh, I got the gold one, nice and thin.
I like the beveled edge. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
I like the feel of it. So you went with the smaller screen.
I went with a smaller screen because I could not get my. I like to do it with one hand, and I couldn't get my thumb across on this iPhone 6 Plus. So.
That's exactly what I thought too. I told my son, we looked at it and I said, I just can't do it because I can't get my thumb up in this corner where I've got everything else.
Right.
And I see you didn't opt for the watch.
Not yet. I'm going to get it.
You're going to get the watch?
Not yet.
I don't see it being. It's going to be useful, but I don't see it taking over using of the phone.
Right.
Because I can't see anyway. And I'm either like this or.
Well, from what I
usually
understand, is the notifications, the vibrating on your wrist. You can set different vibrations for different people who are calling you.
Good.
So you can, without looking at your wrist, you can tell who's calling if you want.
Good vibrations.
Good vibrations. So, if you're thinking about moving to Bartlesville, or you're in Bartlesville, you're new to Bartlesville, don't worry, it doesn't rain all the time like this. This is a fluke. This is weird. I know there's Noah's building an ark somewhere, thinking that we might need it, but
we haven't
the drought
had.
is over.
Yeah, we haven't had a whole lot of rain, but then again, we haven't had any floods in a long time. And
Just a constant drizzle.
There's been a flood maybe once every 10 to 15 years, so it's been 8.
Right.
So we're kind of due for that drought to break, and that's just an average thing.
Yeah, so it's usually sunny, and about this time of year, 75, 80 degrees, so don't despair.
Yeah.
Bartlesville is not Seattle, although it feels like it right now.
I actually turned on my heater this morning.
I know, I turned on the heater the other day.
It was like 63 degrees in my house. I was freezing.
Speaking of Bartlesville, today we're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about today, Jay?
We're going to do a little golfing. Talk about golf.
Golf.
Talking about some golf.
Talking about golf. Bruce Goff, that is.
Yes, Bruce Goff. Not the game of golf, but Bruce Goff.
Yeah.
And, we started talking about what to talk about today, and the play tower came up. And, it's something you and I both, we've got good memories of childhood climbing up the Bruce Goff play tower.
I've only been there like once or twice.
Man, I went up like 1,000 times when I was little.
Really?
And then somewhere along the line in the 90s, they closed it. They welded up the door, and there was no more.
Somebody even vandalized it by running a truck into it, huh?
Yeah, they ran a truck into it, tore up the outside, and just made a mess. And so
what's the history of the golf tower? Where did it come from?
So Goff decided to build it. He had some other plans for it, but he was commissioned by the city of Bartlesville and by H.C. Price Company, aka the Price Tower, to build the play tower. And
the Price Play Tower.
Yeah, there was Price Play Tower. He was great friends with the Prices. In fact, he was a professor. He was head of the OU architecture department until he moved to Bartlesville and moved into the H.C. Price Tower. He was always a big fan.
It'd be cool to have an office in the Price Tower.
Oh yeah, it would be so awesome. But he was a big fan, big admirer of Frank Lloyd Wright. Frank Lloyd Wright was actually a fan of Goff. He thought, Goff saw a lot of himself Wright saw a lot of himself in Goff. And actually at 12 years old, he wrote a letter because somebody said his building looked like, they thought his blueprint, because he worked for an architecture company when he was 12.
Huh.
But they thought a build of his, or a drawing of his, looked exactly like a house that Wright had drawn up and built. And so he sent that picture off to Wright. Frank Lloyd Wright wrote him back and said, "Hey, it's great to hear about you, and here's a lot of my other drawings." And so, as a 12-year-old, he got a bunch of drawings from Frank Lloyd Wright, who was a big inspiration to him. And so that's why, like Shinnecoin, when it was built, it had a lot of Frank Lloyd Wright type stuff in it, and he was very heavily influenced by the Native Americans. He talked about he liked the texture and the colors that they incorporated and the designs, and so you see a lot of that in his architecture.
So the Goff Tower was commissioned in 1963.
1963.
The 50th anniversary was in 2013.
Yeah, so in 2013, the city of Bartlesville decided to take up a collection and a fund drive, if you will, and companies like ConocoPhillips, Phillips 66, and several other private donors had given them money to revamp the play tower and bring it back to life.
So it cost originally cost $7,000.
$7,000 to put that thing out.
Yeah. So I don't know how much it cost to renovate it. Did the article say?
Yeah, I'm thinking it was upwards $50,000 plus.
Wow. So anyway, it's standing tall in Bartlesville, and let's cut away here, and I'll show you. You can see there's going to be two pictures here. Let's see. Here's one picture. Here's the Goff Tower, and here's the second picture of the Goff Tower. So those were good pictures, huh?
They were good pictures, yeah. Yeah, you took them well.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Behind, set against the gray, overcast sky.
Yeah, we were really hoping to have a blue sky to shoot those with, but weather doesn't always cooperate. But that's okay. But Bruce Goff is a interesting individual to study him. I mean, just the fact that he went to work for a company. His dad actually drug him one afternoon and said, "Who's the best architect in town?" And the guy says, "Rush something and Rush." And he said, "Okay." So he took him into the architecture, and this was in the early 1900s. And he said, "I want you to teach this boy how to become an architect." And so he ended up being an apprentice and spent years just drawing the classic architecture, and he was self-taught, never really did a lot of stuff, but he ended up being the chief architect of Oklahoma at OU. Designed several really cool houses. One that was made of rock that kind of resembles a little bit of the play tower. It's a spiral, and there's no inside walls. Your privacy is because you can only see so far down the ramp and up the ramp, and all the beds and stuff are hung from the ceiling. It's a really weird, wacky house. It's in Norman. Yeah, and so he also built a lot of houses around town, some which stand today, and of course one of his famous ones that we all know is Shinnecoin, but unfortunately it burned down in the 90s, I believe, and a true treasure. It was a remarkable house, but it was lost to
Fire.
arsons. Yeah.
Arsons?
Yep.
So if you're coming to Bartlesville, check out the golf tower at Sooner Park. And are there any golf houses that you can tour in Bartlesville? I don't know if there are.
I don't know that you can tour them, but
Shinnecoin used to be able to.
Shinnecoin used to be able to. I know that there's a few houses. Actually, most of his houses are privately held, so I don't think there's any left you can do. But you can go and tour the Price Tower and catch a meal at the Copper Restaurant.
Yeah. Well, we were going to shoot this show from the Copper Restaurant. What happened to that idea?
I don't know. So I mean, that was totally nixed. I don't know who did that. But today, we're at Jude's. What's that say?
Jude's Health and Java House.
Is that velvet?
No, that's blue velvet. So, we're doing the unboxing. Last week we did the Frosted Flakes, and we got the toy out of the, it was the Iron Man and Thor, wasn't it? On the Frisbee?
Yes.
This week we have
Mama Fruit Loops.
Unboxing the Fruit Loops, and we're going for this. It's interesting to see if they put the picture of what's inside on the outside.
Yeah, if you turn that around, there's 4 different designs, and last week we got, this one?
This one, yeah.
And so we're hoping to get this one this week.
There we go. Before we waste any more time with this, got a big bowl here from Jude's.
What? Jude's what?
Health and Java House.
Yeah, there you go. Mouth watering.
I never did like.
I love Fruit Loops. I'm big. Ooh, smell that aroma of Fruit Loops. Oh, fruity goodness.
Oop, there it is.
There we go. You open that, and I'm going to go to town on Jeffro Bodine cereal bowl here.
Man, these things, they wrap them and then they double wrap them. Quickly, hockey puck time. Okay, here it goes. Is it going to be the Hulk? Is it going to be what we got last year? And it is Come on. It's the Hulk and Thor. So there you go. We got the Hulk and the Thor. So we'll add that to the collection. All right. So I think that's about it. Anything else?
Oh, we're totally going to get to the numbers of procrastination.
Procrastination, that's right.
Next time?
We'll do it next time.
Yeah, because they're fascinating numbers.
Yeah. So we were talking about the golf tower and the vandal who ran into the bottom of it. And so, when that happened, they eventually found the guy. And what was that all about?
So he ran his truck into the tower, and they found him underneath the bridge, wrapped himself in